What's up, cuz? I'm back in pog form. I didn't die on my holiday, unless you mean dying of heat exhaustion and getting hand shandies up back alley massage parlours. Check out Thailand, real talk, it's a pretty great place. Coming back to the soul crushing reality of life, I got back into using my time effectively by binge watching YouTube videos. One video in particular got me onto an article that was talking about killing all men. Literally all of us, even Captain America. And worse was, people were taking it seriously. You know, the kind of regressive left sociopath who thinks communism actually works, those kinds of pod people. But I started to think about it, and I've decided to make a couple of videos laying out my blueprint, if you will, for what a single-sex society would look like. Because I am a gentleman, or according to everyone in the rainbow-haired land whale society that is Tumblr, a horrible cis-het rapist who hates abortion and who uses white male privilege to get cheaper train tickets or whatever, I have decided to start with a female-only society. Just pretend that I am the mighty, incomparable, true God Emperor that is Thanos, and I have the power to put all of the men in the world in a giant space cupboard for the time being. At first glance, things look like they would be a paradise of high-pitched voices and pleasant scents. Can you even imagine how nice Earth would smell? All those perfumes, scented candles, scented soaps, scented vaginas, those plants with the strawberry thing going on, bath salts and whatnot. Women are really obsessed with smelling like flowers and French soap for some reason. The women secretly all smell really bad and they don't want men to know. This is definitely going into my top 10 conspiracy theories, right next to Shakespeare being a woman and flat earth. Women statistically lean towards jobs with social or caring responsibilities, so initially you'll have nurses roaming the land in huge packs like the Uruk-hai, with their goddamn pleasant reassuring manner and helpful advice, making sure everyone's taking their pills and getting plenty of rest and water. You could also picture the fun at shopping centre car parks, as like 90% of women seem to drive Fiat 500s for some reason, so there'll be plenty of parking room. Trying to squeeze all the cartoon characters' shoes and that awful wine that they all drink into the 500's boot would be quite fun. It probably shouldn't be called the boot, it should be called the shoe. Get it? Because the shoe's smaller than a boot. Love me, please! With no men around, women would probably feel safe at night, and I think they would take advantage of that fact and start having massive walking tours of housing estates. In fact, they'd probably find the creepiest, darkest places to walk, perhaps find some kind of garbage-filled rapist alley and enjoy a spot of tea because they know there's no one in a hoodie hiding behind the bins touching themselves. There would probably be less violent crime in general due to women being fonder of networking and socialising. International disagreements would be solved with, say, a seance or prayer group rather than through the delicious crucible of glorious combat. Wonder Woman will be able to enter and exit buildings through the door rather than smashing through the fucking wall every time. The reproduction problem would be solved by the Madonna method of simply buying babies from another planet. Cosmo would replace the Bible. Of course that means they need to write more articles to help women, say, fix the pipes under the stairs, and less articles about 10 weird things to do to a man's scrotum with a pencil sharpener or whatever the shit. Those cringe-worthy musicals women like so much would become the primary form of media since sweet, sweet violence is mostly a male thing. Women would be able to enjoy the cringe. They would cringe so badly they would slip into a pocket dimension and have to ask a lady scientist to save the day. Of which, of course, there would be many. Y'all also wouldn't need to worry about those so-called period things I keep hearing about. You could just do it whenever, wherever.
Do you bleed?
Cool! Me too, baby. Right now, in the bread aisle, what's up? There are some negatives though. Firstly, with no need for makeup to hide your flaws from all those shallow, judgmental men that you desperately want to have sex with, pretty much every makeup tutorial video channel would have to shut down. motorbike sales would plummet, L'Oreal would also shut down, Ann Summers would have to reorganise their business model as saucy lingerie, crotchless pants and French maid costumes are replaced by those giant balloon pants from Bridget Jones. In fact, women probably wouldn't even wear matching underwear sets anymore. The Labour Party still wouldn't be able to elect a female party leader, just basically giving up and allowing a beaver, truly the most socialist of all animals, to run the show henceforth. The butch lesbians would sit at the top of the social tree, bullying other women due to their larger shoe size and ability to use a belt sander during mid-level construction projects. Women would have to actually pretend to care about their own sports other than tennis. Tumblr would have to close down as the pink-haired victim Avengers would have no one to complain about. The Republican Party would also have to close down because... come on, man. And just try to picture some of the news reports that would happen. I was going to try and do a woman's voice, but no. Hello, see, no. Day 1. Women everywhere rejoice as the nation is man-free. Women are free to pursue a life of happiness and spiritual fulfillment. Thongs are no longer required. Rampant rabbits are being handed out at the airports. Tampons literally fall from the sky. It's a glorious day for womanhood, although perhaps a tad chilly. You should put on a scarf and get the heating on when you go home. Day 2. The capital city is on lockdown today as a large spider appears to have taken over a local residence. The nearby women are too afraid to pick up this comparatively small life form or even enter the room for some reason. Local police are baffled. The standoff continues. Day 7. Disney movies are today banned as it emerges that suicide cults are inspired by the plots of the movies. The emotional distress of watching a cartoon deer get smoked has become too much for many women, and they are often found floating face down in an otherwise pristine, pleasant-smelling lake, after Disney planned to take advantage of the lack of men by releasing an animated 5-movie series about a puppy, a kitten, a bunny and a seal pup becoming friends with a talking tree that gets cut down by an evil corporation. With a soundtrack by Pink and Celine Dion, cinemas complained about the number of tears devastating the carpets. Without the presence of portly husbands who wear button-up shirts and jumpers for some reason, being around to tell the women to grow up it's just a film before telling her to put the dinner on and falling asleep on the couch whilst lying on top of the TV remote so she is forced to watch yet another repeat of NCIS, women tend to find solace in the adventures of animated animals. Doctors with long flowing blonde hair who no longer need to worry about being taken seriously have consistently warned of the dangers of obsessive attachment to these types of films. Day 14. A large tarantula was today declared King of the World as women continued to go into hiding during the spider invasion. Local woman Margaret, 44, said, "Och, it was terrifying. It ran up the curtain and I went, ooh, and ran away." Day 24. The spider dominion of Earth was today challenged by a squad of rats that climbed out of a sewer. The National Army have been left trapped in a storage room due to the tiny number of recruits, as most women prefer to study hairdressing rather than, say, choosing STEM subjects or choosing a job that involves being outside in the winter. Day 25. Local woman Margaret got her period today. She killed all the spiders. Not actually with the period, that would be disgusting. But she swept them all away. She shouted at the rats, and everything's fine once again. Get the kettle on. So, if you're a woman, you identify as a woman, you want to be a woman, you pretend to be a woman in video games like I do, what do you think? Can you imagine living in a world without aggressive BMW drivers not indicating when they change lane? Or being able to fart loudly on the bus and not care because everyone's doing it? Or perhaps figuring out how to use urinals since you can now go into the empty men's toilets? Or drink pints of Guinness with no shame? Or, say, not ever shaving your armpits and pulling your vaginal lips out in public contests to resemble a bat or one of those weird beachside parasol things? Just imagine what you think it would be like, and maybe it will be so. I'm not wanting to make a cheap period joke, except for the 3 or so I've already made, but some parliaments tend to have hundreds of members. Do they not say if like 3 women live together, their menstrual cycles synchronise? Is it really a good idea to have like 600 women all dealing with those issues all at the same time? I mean, can you really pass important nation defining legislation at the same time as you're having a breakdown and stuff in your face with Ben and Jerry's?